Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your
Stop staring at me.
Photo News Fix. This fix is brought to you by Squarespace. I've been using Squarespace for JaredPolin.com for more than 10 years now, and just a few months ago, I created two new sites. One, Fund a Photographer, and the other, BerniePhotoBook.com, all using Squarespace, and I didn't need to know any coding because it was super simple, super easy to build, edit, and launch, and I love it. To get your 14-day free trial, head on over to squarespace.com/FroKnowsPhoto. If you decide it's for you, use the code FroKnowsPhoto at checkout to get 10% off your first order. First up, GoPro is back in the news thanks to what looks to be the leak specs of the next GoPro Hero. The what number are we up to?
10!
Thank you. They're up to the Hero 10, though it doesn't look like they made a lot of changes from the 9, 8, 7, 6, or the 5, and so on and so forth. To be honest, we haven't updated since the Hero 5 because it still does the job that we need it to do. It's not like the sensor size has changed, which would have given us a reason to update, or has it? According to these specs, no, it hasn't. But it will have a new processor called the GP2, which reportedly will improve overall performance and resolution. The 10 is expected to support up to 5.3K resolution up to 60 frames per second, 4K at 120, and 240 at 2.7K. On top of that, the hyper smooth digital image stabilization is said to get slightly better. It's pretty insane to see hypersmooth in the 9, and I can only imagine how much better it will get in the 10. My feeling with GoPro is, how many people need to update year in and year out? Most people I know are still rocking older ones as they do exactly what they need them to do.
Christy.
That right there has to be one of the reasons, other than Chinese knockoffs, why GoPro stock has gone from $86.97 in 2014 down to the low of just $2.29 in April of 2020. And it sits right now just around $10. Would you upgrade to the 10 based off of these leak specs? Let me know down below. Next up, a woman has been sentenced to 7 days in jail, a $2,000 fine, and a 2-year ban from visiting Yellowstone,
a favorite spot,
for leaving the protective boardwalk and stepping onto the fragile crust around a thermal pool. 1, stay on the damn boardwalk unless you hear this.
Watch the tram car, please.
Watch the tram car. In which case, you better. For those of you who don't know, and honestly, I've never really thought about it, but you could die if you step off the boardwalk.
Under the boardwalk is a magical place.
According to the book Death in Yellowstone, in the park's history, 20 people have been killed by falling into thermal pools. Now that's that we know of. Last year, a man left the boardwalk looking for a hot pool to soak in, and guess what?
He's dead.
He slipped into a boiling acid bath and was never recovered. Nonetheless, the woman whose name is Madeline S. Oh my God, do we have a photo of her, Dan? We do? Oh, she looks familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it. The moral of the story, don't go to national parks or you might die. Brought to you by the National Parks of the United States. Next up, Canon Rumors is reporting that the official announcement for the R3 will come on or around September 14th.
2 weeks.
They said they have yet to confirm it, but a few things line up that point to it being announced soon.
2 weeks.
Do you know what else is rumored to be coming September 14th? The iPhone 13. I digress. Here's a quick rundown of the rumored specs from Canon Rumors. The R3 will have a 24 megapixel backside illuminated stacked CMOS sensor, add extra multi-controllers, vari-angled touchscreen, a grip integrated into the body, shoot 30 frames per second, have amazing autofocus, new accessory shoe, and more. My biggest questions are, will it really be 24, and how much will it cost? I guess all eyes will turn to September 14th to see if this rumor is true. And finally, could this be it? Could this be the first leaked specs of the forthcoming Sony A74? According to Sony Alpha Rumors, the website that we all know gets it right 100% of the time, the answer is 100%.
You're making that up.
They are claiming that they got reliable info that the A74 will launch in October as long as there's enough chips to go around. They claim it will have a new 33 megapixel sensor, which seems pretty odd to me, as well as 5.5 stops of IBIS, and I'm not sure why that anybody would leak that feature, because that's not that special. Sony Alpha Rumors says they got the information from an Asian source, but cannot confirm or know if the specs are correct.
That's different.
The source added that there's a huge buffer, world's fastest AF, new HDR processing that no one cares about, shoot 4K at 60 frames per second, and give you 10 frames per second with stills. I'm almost positive the A74 should have been out by now, but due to supply shortages, we're gonna have to wait a little while longer.
When will then be now?
But when the camera does hit, I expect it to hit pretty hard. Now next week, you may have a special guest host standing in this spot doing the photo news fix, but that's all I've got for you this time around. To check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.